Oh, hi there. Okay, so what you just heard was me playing the guitar, and in this presentation, I'm going to teach you how to play that, or at least by the end of this presentation, you should have enough tools as to actually play something like that. Okay, so this presentation is about how to play the guitar. I'm Sotomayor, and I'm gonna teach you some of the basic stuff, like the parts of a guitar, how to interpret some pieces, how to interpret like the different chords and the different tabs that you can find on the guitar in case you want to learn that. Okay, so let's go part by part, thing by thing. Okay, let's just start with what are the parts of the guitar. Okay, this diagram really pretty much is able to summarize all of it. This right here is the binding, is where you pretty much place your arm when you are playing. This right here is the body of the guitar. This right here are the frets. Each one of them is like separated by this little thing of metal. Like the first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, and there are a total of 12 frets from here all the way to here. Those are the most used frets, but we also have other right here. I think this guitar gets onto fret 20. We also have the fretboard. The fretboard is like all of the frets together. We also have like the headstock. We have the tuners or the pegs that are pretty much what change the tuning of the guitar, like which note the guitar is playing. We also have the bridge. We have the sound hole that the sound comes from this hole in the guitar. And we also have other parts, but pretty much with those parts you already have like a very basic idea of the guitar and its different parts. Okay, so let's get into like the actual important thing that is like the practical aspect of the guitar. Okay, how to name the guitar strings. Okay, this is actually pretty simple. How many strings does a guitar have? That's a pretty basic question that not everyone can answer. It's a total of 6 strings. The first string is the one that is like here, and it is actually the string that has like the highest pitch, like it produces a high sound, and it is called the E string or the first string, and it has this like very high sound, and it goes all the way to the sixth string. The sixth string is the lowest string, like the string with the lowest sound, that is, and it is also an E, an E note. So yeah, the first string is an E, and it is like the highest note, the one with the highest pitch, and the sixth one is the one with the lowest pitch. In between them, there are other strings, like the first string is E because it produces the E sound. The second string is the V, it produces the V sound. The third string is the G, it produces the G sound. The fourth string is the D, it produces a D sound. The fifth string is A, it produces A sound. The note is A, and the lowest one, as we said, is E, and it's the sixth string. First string, second string, third string, fourth string, fifth string, and sixth string. Okay, and at the side you can see like a very basic representation of this. You are going to come across with this kind of representation of the strings. Really, it's something really common. Okay, so how to name your fingers when playing the guitar. Okay, in this case, the index finger, you usually call it the first finger. The middle finger, you usually call it the second finger. The third finger is obviously the ring finger in this case. The fourth finger is the pinky, and it's not the fifth finger, but rather the thumb. We simply call it the thumb. Some people call it the fifth finger, but no, not everyone does it. And in this case, I was actually doing with the wrong hand. This numeration is actually for this hand because this is the hand that actually plays the different frets, So that's the basic way of calling the fingers in the guitar, As we said, first, second, third, fourth, and thumb, okay? The most used ones. You can also use that numeration for this one. Okay. So, this is a simple exercise to start warming up your fingers and getting accustomed to the guitar. You start with your first finger on the first fret of the first string. Then you take your second finger and put it in the second fret of the first string. Then you do it the same with the third finger in the third fret, and the fourth finger in the fourth fret. And now you go like one string up and do the same without taking the other fingers off. And you can also do it the other way around, Okay, and that's a very simple exercise. You can also like do it on the next the next fret. You know, at the start you're not gonna be able to do it as fast. You simply do it like little by little. And if possible, you do it under a tempo so that you don't lose like the correct tempo, the correct rhythm of you can do it like, for example, at 4/4, like. It's something really simple. It is actually a simple exercise to simply start warming up your fingers and start, you know, like getting accustomed to the guitar. It's not actually a real piece or something like that, but it's a very useful exercise to start learning the basic things about the guitar. Okay, how to play chords. I actually think that a lot of people want to know how to play chords, and they usually represent it like the diagram that you have at the left, you know. What does that diagram means? We actually saw a pretty similar diagram in this slide, you know. It represents pretty much the 6 strings of the guitar. If you see the guitar like in this way, you know, like the 1st string and the 6th string is actually like represented in this way, in this direction. So well, how to play, this is a very simple chord. Is the C chord. Is actually the most used chords in all music history. I will say it is used, for example, in "When I find myself in times of trouble, my memory comes." It's the 1st chord, or also in the famous intro of this songs, you know, of the song, you know, "The Dust in the Wind." Okay, so yeah, this is the most famous and probably the most used chord in all of guitar of the song, in all of music history. Okay, in order to play it, you first have to put your 3rd finger in the 5th string in the 3rd fret, and then your 2nd finger in the 4th string in the 2nd fret, and then your 1st finger, sorry, in the 2nd string in the 1st fret. And when you play that, okay, now you have to be really careful because some people actually like tilt their fingers a little bit, and that makes the 1st string be muted, or any of the strings be muted, and it sounds like this. And you don't want that. You want to place your fingers on a really like right position so that it sounds in a good way, you know. Okay. You can also do the same with another chord, for example, the A chord. That I actually think this is the simplest chord to play, or the simplest really used chord to play. In this case, you place your 1st finger in the 4th string in the 2nd fret, and then you do the same but one in the 3rd string with your 2nd finger, but also in the 2nd fret, and then your 3rd finger you place it also in the 2nd fret, but in the 2nd string. And when you play it, this chord is also really used in, for example, in 25 years and my life is still. Well, you probably know that song. Okay, so well, this is a really known chord, and it's really simple to play. You simply need to like follow the diagram in the way I pretty much taught you. You know, this is the 1st string, this is the 6th string. These numbers represent your fingers. Sometimes they are also represented like this, but yeah, this is how it is supposed to look. It's really simple, actually, not as difficult as it may seem. Here you have some diagrams. I'm not gonna teach you all of them. You simply have to follow them. Another really used chord is this one, the G chord. This one is using songs such as, or songs like. Well, yeah, it's a really used chord. You can use all of them. You can learn them step by step. They're not as difficult as they seem, but yeah. Right now, I simply taught you like the basic aspects of how to read them. Okay. Now we're gonna go into guitar tabs. Okay, they are really important, and they are what actually help you to learn new songs. How do you interpret them? It is actually really simple. Okay, so this line represents the 1st string. You know, this one. This line represents the 2nd string, you know, this one. This line, the 3rd line, obviously represents the 3rd string, and all the way to the 6th string, which obviously is the lowest line. Okay, so well, how do you, for example, play this song? you start in the 4th string if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, and it has a 0. What does that 0 mean? That means that you have to play the string without placing any finger. And then you do the same with the 3rd string. You know it also has a 0. And then you place your finger in the 2nd fret. It actually doesn't represent your fingers, but the frets you're supposed to play. And when you do it in the right way, and that's the song "You Are My Sunshine." You know, you simply have to follow them. You know, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, 0, 3, 1, 0. And you know, you simply have to follow along with that. It's actually pretty simple. Okay, so this is a simple exercise, as this is actually the song that I was playing, or the piece that I was playing when I started this video. This is actually really simple, you know. You first have to play the 1st string and the 6th string at the same time while placing your finger in the 7th fret, okay? And then you simply have to play with this finger and this finger, the 2nd and 3rd string. And you simply repeat that 3 times. You then play that part in which you play the 6th and 1st string at the same time while placing the finger in the 7th fret. And then you change your finger into the 5th fret in the 1st string. And then you place it in the 3rd fret in the 1st string. And then you simply have to follow along, you know, you place it in the 3rd fret, and then in the 2nd one, and then you play all the strings without placing in your fingers, and then in the 3rd fret, as it says in this part in here, and then in the 7th fret. And when you play it at the right tempo, it is like. And yeah, well, that's the very basic things you learn during this presentation. You know, it's simply the parts of the guitar, the way in which you name the guitar strings, you know, what notes they represent and how are they named, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and the 6th string, the different fingers you use when playing, a simple exercise. Remember that exercise in which you do this, and also how to play the chords, how to interpret this diagrams. Remember, this is the 1st string, this is the 6th string, and this represents which fingers you have to place. Also some guitar diagrams that are very useful if you want to learn more. So how to interpret the guitar tabs, a simple exercise. And well, yeah, in conclusion, guitar playing is something that is really cool. I think anyone could benefit from learning an instrument, and the guitar is actually not as difficult as one might seem. At least it might seem at first glance, sorry. And well, once you learn, for example, how to play tabs and how to play the basic chords, you can learn a lot of songs, you know, it's not even that difficult. I also recommend, for example, playing Beatles songs by the Beatles. They're really simple. And well, yeah, playing the guitar is something really cool, and I think you should do it, and I hope this presentation was useful for you to do that. Thank you very much.